Well, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all of you. Today is July 4th, 2024. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about tips, strategy, share success stories, and support each of you. Most of you are our affiliates who are committed to helping build financial literacy and increase access to capital, especially for entrepreneurs. But regardless if you're an affiliate or a prospective affiliate, a client or a prospective client, everyone is welcome. We're very transparent. We're going to go back and have kind of part two. Yesterday, we had part one where we introduced this new PowerPoint. And I should mention, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just type it into the Q&A, question and answer box. It's like a chat box in Zoom. So yesterday we had a presentation. It was only about 10 minutes long, but it was meant to create kind of a canned presentation that describes how to create a fundable business, but also should be a very effective tool for those of you that need a little bit more of an explanation to give to your prospects to motivate them to go to your landing page and complete the landing page. So just as a reminder, most of you are affiliates. Affiliate marketing is very common. It's prevalent. 80% of medium and large sized businesses in the United States, maybe globally, but certainly in the United States, have an affiliate program. Louis Vuitton, Tiffany's, Lamborghini, Amazon, Best Buy, American Airlines, most companies have an affiliate program now. So do we. The concept of affiliate marketing is frankly to keep it very simple. You refer someone to the merchant, and the client then becomes the prospect becomes a client, and then you as the referral source get paid. In our world, we provide you a free landing page, so that's where you're driving people to, and then you know that you're going to make 5%, 5 points of the capital raise from each client you refer in, because they're guaranteed 100,000. You're getting 5 points of that, so at least 5,000. So that's one of the main differentiators of our affiliate program versus the thousands or tens of thousands that are out there, is we have typically higher payouts because we're dealing with a larger ticket item. With that being said, as an affiliate, it's designed to be very, very simple, right? So you create awareness and you drive people to your landing page. Everyone should have a landing page. If you don't have a landing page, be sure to get with us so we can resolve that. And I'll show you our contact information in a second. So that takes us back to today's topic. So this is the cover page. This is really where the meat of the matter is on the second page. And there's our phone number, by the way, if you need to call us. With that being said, affiliates normally don't have to talk much. They're just driving people to their landing page. But some of you have demonstrated an interest, a willingness, a desire to do more in the financial literacy space. So I would encourage you to consider using this very brief PowerPoint deck. It's only 2 slides, should take you no more than 15 minutes to go through. If you desire to spend more time educating people. Now, the benefit of this message is it's very valuable for them to know, regardless if they decide they want to enroll in our program, which of course is what gets you paid, but it's good information. So I'm going to go through the content here a little bit from your and my perspective. Yesterday, with the canned presentation we developed, it was ready for the end user. Let's talk more about it today. So if you wanted to start teaching this, you could teach it in person or online. You could teach it once or multiple times. That's up to you. We'll provide you an editable version of the PowerPoint. You'll want it to be editable because you'll want to change the call to action. All of you should have a landing page. You've said that. So you would want to put your landing page and your information as the call to action. So again, this is redundant, but again, as an affiliate, it's not really expected that you're going to go out and do this. Affiliate marketing is very simple. Refer to your landing page, get paid, and repeat the process. But for those of you that want to do more, that want to educate, this is approved material that is valuable, it's needed, and effective. So Again, let us know if you need an editable version of this. We'll provide it to you. First thing you're going to want to do is change the contact information in the bottom left, and then also change it here. Everything else should stay the same. And in fact, we'd ask you, if you're an affiliate, not to change anything else. What we want to avoid, and this is kind of an obvious statement, is what we want to avoid is affiliates going out to the marketplace and not being accurate, knowingly or unknowingly, of what they say. So this material, which we're going to go through and discuss, is approved. We had an issue yesterday with one of our affiliates that had been stating an untruth to their prospects. We didn't know that. And it kind of bubbled up yesterday when we found out that the prospects from one affiliate had some inaccurate expectations. So in general, affiliate marketing, you refer to your landing page. Here, this is okay for you to teach, and I think you'd probably enjoy it, and it can be very profitable for you, but try to stick to these guardrails. Don't start consulting with the client about what's going to happen other than the process, which I'm going to go through with you, because we don't want you to misrepresent anything. So if you're going to teach this, again, we'll provide you an editable version. As I've said, you want to change the call to action. But let's go through what's on the presentation. So obviously, we start with the question. We're looking for people looking for business funding. That's who our prospects are. Now, you could narrow down. Maybe you go to a specific church or chamber of commerce or other targeted audience, and you could even edit a bit. Are you a plumber looking for business funding? If you're speaking to a group of plumbers, you could make it narrow or leave it broad. It's really fine the way that it is. But then we need to quickly start educating the prospects about what it takes to get business funding. I know this may seem like an insult to you, but you know the formula for funding. You and I know. So we know what it takes to have a fundable business. But I say this respectfully, you're wrong if you think most people know that, because most people don't know that. Most people just say, hey, I want funding, get me funding. And or even I'm ready for funding, when in fact they don't even know what ready means. I have one client that we're working with, different from the comment I made a moment ago, and he's successful. He drives exotic cars, but he literally doesn't understand. He can't assimilate, or hasn't assimilated, what it takes to have a fundable business. So that's the first thing that you and I really can do to help people better understand that it's not about how bad I need money or how much I want or need money. We have to have a fundable business, which is the second sentence. If you can get that through people's heads, that's half the battle. So what they really should want is, I want to have a fundable business, because once you have a fundable business, then getting funding, it's relatively easy, it's attainable. But if they don't have a fundable business, then there's a disconnect between their current circumstance and the outcome that they want. So that's really what we're trying to accomplish here, is to open their eyes that we really need to desire to have a fundable business if we want business funding. Again, I know that may sound obvious to you, but from the hundreds or thousands of clients that I talk to each month, many don't have that connection. They just want to skip the step of becoming fundable, and they just want the funding. But that's too good to be true. Now, is it possible that they're already fundable? Sure, but that's rarely the case. So we want to first emphasize, hey, you need to have a fundable business if you want business funding. And oh, by the way, great news, there's a formula for funding so you can understand it. And again, sometimes people think business funding, it's too abstract, it never happens, it can't happen. But just use an analogy like getting a mortgage. Is it impossible to get a mortgage to buy a home? No, it's not impossible, but there's requirements. And so there are requirements to get business funding. And so what we can do is help them meet those requirements, because that's at the core of what we do. Now, are we giving them a free funding proposal, which we'll talk about the process in a moment? Sure, we're going to do all those things. But at the end of the day, to get a large capital raise, we need to have a fundable business. So that's kind of the point here as you get started teaching someone, is helping them maybe rethink what their goal is. Is my goal to get funding? Well, maybe that's the end goal, but our interim goal needs to be, I need to have a fundable business. Any questions on that? Andrea, Bernard, Donald, Gilbert, Jeff, Pauline, Toby, Varney, others? Anyone have questions on what we're trying to accomplish with the first bullet of this presentation? Okay, we'll move on. I think everyone's with me. So now we need to pivot from the introduction of, hey, you need to have a fundable business, to, hey, we can help you have a fundable business. But we're continuing to educate in this second bullet. We're not just going into sales pitch. People don't want to be sold. What we're going to do is educate them about what it takes to have a fundable business and how you and I can help them accomplish that. So, next bullet. Fundability is based upon your loan package and your 3 C's. So frankly, this is what we do. This is what we're going to work with them on. But while that's an accurate statement, it probably doesn't mean much to them. It doesn't make sense. They're probably not familiar with what a loan package is, or they may wrongfully think they know, and they may or may not know what the 3 C's are. So now we're introducing the topic, and then we're going to educate them what that means and how we help them. So you see the approach. We're trying to introduce a concept, build financial literacy, and then show them how we can help them. See? Because what we want is everyone that you educate, even if they don't enroll, even if they don't move forward, and most of them probably will, we want them to have found the time spent with you as useful and valuable. If you're working through a host, going to a library or a church or a chamber, the host can provide the space and the audience. We want the host to like so much what you've educated on that they invite you back. That's how you know that a workshop is successful. If there's a host involved, the host says, hey, Andrea, hey, Bernard, hey, Donald, hey, Gilbert, Jeff, Pauline, Toby, Varney, others, we'd like you to come back and do this again. All right, so let's move on to how we're going to improve the business's fundability, because this is describing what we do. If you don't describe what we do accurately, then they may walk away thinking, oh, this is too good to be true, right? You're guaranteeing me $100,000. That's got to be a scam. Well, it's not a scam. But if they don't understand, then they don't have the information to connect in their mind. So it doesn't make sense to them. So we're going to go through now and talk about the 4 elements that we've introduced and what we're going to do to help them. Now, again, you want to make this fast moving, and I'm giving you a much deeper discussion today, right? Yesterday's was the session was the can session where you go through it fluidly. Today, we're stopping, we're pausing, we're discussing, we're strategizing. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Okay, so we said that we need a loan package. So then let's talk about how we're going to help them. We're going to help them build a business plan, a lender compliant business plan with financials. Financials can come into there's 2 types of financials. There's projections, which are forward looking, what we think is going to happen in the future. Well, that's important to the lender, because the lender needs to see that we anticipate that our business, after receiving the loan, will have enough money to be able to pay them back, because it's very important to the lender to be paid back. And then secondly, there are the historical financials. So in other words, as of now, or year to date now. So often, and I'm still trying personally to improve on how I respond to the objection that I commonly get, which is, hey, Tom, you don't understand, my business is new, I don't have financials. Well, that's probably the biggest sign of financial illiteracy that someone could demonstrate, because even if it is a brand new business, we still need to have credible financials. So let's say that again. Even if it's a brand new business, we still need to have credible financials. Now we're going to help them with that, but we need to find out first where they're at and then fix it. So we handle the implementation through our affiliate model. You're referring into your landing page and we're doing all the work. So my goal today is not to say, oh, we're going to teach you how to do all these things. I just want you to understand how to present this properly, and then also understand from an implementation side what we're going to be doing as we work with each client you refer in. If there wasn't the work done in these areas, then it would be unrealistic to think that everyone will get 100,000. But the fact that we do work with them and help them with these 4 sub bullets that we're going through now makes it possible, makes it reasonable, makes it attainable. So we're going to help them build a business plan and financials. Then we get into the 3 C's. Again, if you're not very knowledgeable about what the 3 C's are, it's certainly indicative that you probably should stick with the most traditional affiliate role, which is just drive people to your landing page with just the information that's on the landing page. But for those of you that know more, want to do more, we can teach them about the 3 C's. The first, and these 3 C's can be in any order, of course, but first C that we're talking about here is collateral. So is collateral important for getting a business loan? Yes. In most cases, it is important. And so we realize that most clients will have what's called a collateral shortfall. It's, in other words, on their balance sheet. And again, most of these clients don't even have balance sheets. So we help them understand what a balance sheet is. We help them create one, and then we can legally and ethically transfer assets to their balance sheet so they qualify by having collateral. Second C is credit. A lot of people are scared to death about credit because a lot of people have bad personal credit, but we're not talking about personal credit. We are talking about business credit. This is where we're adding trade lines, primary trade lines, to their business credit profile. So on paper, they look credible, they look low risk, so lenders are willing to loan them money. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the third C is capacity. Sometimes this is referred to as cash flow. In other words, do we have the ability to pay back the loan? And we help with that as well. So loan package is needed. That's included. Collateral, credit, and capacity are all relevant. The 3 C's, we help them with all those things when they come through your landing page. So that's the implementation that happens behind the scenes that you really don't have to worry about. But these are the items that moves each of your clients from where they are when they first come in to where they need to be to get the larger capital raise. Okay, and if you have any questions on that, just type it into the Q&A and we'll address it. Free and easy. So through a nonprofit, received a grant, there's no upfront cost. And that's really important to people for 2 reasons. Some people are broke, and then other people are unwilling to pay anything up front, even though many things in life do require an investment before you get the return. We realize that is often a barrier. Therefore, the way that the proposition is positioned, there's literally no upfront cost. And then we just talk about how our advisory team is credible. It's interesting. Most people don't want to get financial advice from broke people. And so that's been one of the barriers that we've had in the past. We have some of our affiliates who are not doing so well when they come to us. And of course, we want to fix that. We want to help them make a lot of money by being an affiliate and helping people, of course. But when you have people that are not very strong financially and they try to start giving financial advice to other people, they look at them and say, well, dude, you're living in your car. Why are you giving me financial advice? As an affiliate, we recommend affiliates say the least necessary. Just refer them to the landing page and let us take care of it. Here, we're not trying to bastardize that rule. We're just empowering you to educate, to generate the leads. But we would encourage you to not spend time and energy consulting with the client on their specific circumstance, because it may be that your experience, your education, your credibility, your ability to help them might be different than what we end up helping them with. So in general, the more that an affiliate talks, the less money they make. So as an affiliate, you really want to drive people to your landing page. If you want to use education to create leads to drive to your landing page, that's fine. But again, we're not encouraging you to sit down and do a collateral analysis of each client or a business credit analysis or so forth. Educate them, but then drive them to the landing page. Let us work with them on their circumstances because our team has the experience, the education, and the credibility to do so. You'll make more money the less you say. All right, so then we get down to the call to action. And so again, you would change this so you would have your link. We provide each of you a landing page. You all should have the landing page. If you don't have a landing page, you need to call us ASAP and say, where the hell is my landing page? Because how are you going to generate money? How are we going to track the leads back to you if you don't have a landing page? So you would change this. If you don't have a landing page, please, please, please call us so we can get you set up with a landing page. But let's go through the process from the client's perspective, okay? So they're going to go to whatever link is here. Here, it's our landing page. For you, it'd be your landing page. What happens then? Well, then what's going to happen is they're going to receive a text. The first text is, hey, do you want to receive more information? So they need to type yes to that. Once they've typed yes to that initial text, now we're tracking them. We know who they are, and we can work with them. And of course, you get credit. But you could have someone, just for transparency, go to your landing page. They could put in the 4 pieces of information: first name, last name, email, phone. But if they don't type yes to that initial text, the system doesn't capture it, doesn't retain it, doesn't report it. We don't even know they've done that. They have to get that initial text and type yes. So what some of you are really good about doing is staying with them on the phone, help them fill out your landing page, wait for them to receive the initial text, which is almost immediate, and then encourage them to type yes at that moment. So that way we really have a lead in the funnel. If you're just sending out your link to people, you could do that. And obviously that's more hands off. But remember, if they don't respond to that first text with a yes, then nothing else happens. But after they type yes to that initial text, 1 minute later, the system's designed 1 minute later, they'll get a simple application to complete. And again, there's no upfront cost. That simple application is 1 page. If you've not seen it, you should look at it, right? Go to your landing page and go through the steps yourself so you see it instead of me just telling you about it. But as I'm telling you about it, 1 minute later, they'll get a text. It'll have an application. Top half is business information. Bottom half is business owner information. If there's multiple business owners, we'll typically do an application for each business owner that owns 20% or more. Any information they don't have on the business, they can leave blank. Even if they don't have a business yet, they can still participate. They would just leave, obviously, all the business information blank because it doesn't exist yet. Again, if you have any questions on the implementation process, let me know. That's why we're going through this. So then that comes into us, and then our funding coordinators will take that application, and without any hard inquiries, we will create offers. Most people get multiple offers. Everyone gets at least 1 offer. Well, what will the offers look like? Depends upon them, right? Because these are people that are coming into the system, and what they get initially is based upon their baseline credibility. So there's no minimum credit scores. There's no minimum time in business. In fact, we even said that they could not have a business yet and they can still participate. We'll still get them initial offers, but the initial offers are coming from about 40 different lenders, and they work with an entire spectrum of credit from poor credit to great credit. So the client, the participant, will get the offers that they qualify for initially. Maybe that meets all of their capital raise needs. Often it won't, right? Because often they need our help. They need our help to be able to do these things so they can qualify for the larger amount. So They'll get their initial offers. We ask them to accept at least one. Then we changed the process a bit, and we announced this recently. We're going to go ahead and give them a 10,000 quick cash allocation. So real, ethical transfer. We're going to transfer the 10,000 of accounts receivables over to them, help them put that on their balance sheet. So now they have collateral for the loan, and then we can help them liquidate those receivables to improve their capacity. Because remember, what we're saying is we're going to help everyone become fundable. Well, that happens by having a loan package and the 3 C's. Now, in some cases, we can even factor that 10,000. We have a lender that we work with. The process has recently changed a bit, by the way, but we have a lender that we work with that will factor this, if approved, for 97%. So they would get, theoretically, in that example, 9,700 within the first week of being in the program. Now, ultimately, our value proposition is working with them to get fundable, right? Because that's what we've said from the beginning. Hey, you have to have a fundable business. What does it take to have a fundable business? These things. And that's what we work with them on, is to help them become fundable. So just for transparency's sake, for these large capital raises of 100,000 or 500,000 or $1 million or multi-million dollars, that's fine. There's no cap. We're guaranteeing a minimum of 100,000. But that happens not by magic or by hope or prayer. It happens based upon having a fundable business, which is what we've talked about. So again, I've gone through this in more detail just to give you more backstory, more narrative of how you might want to present it. You can present it in person or online. You can present it to individuals or to groups. We've seen a number of best practices. A best practice, which is a little bit more elaborate, some of you won't want to do this, but it's a best practice, would be to get a host. A host is the pastor of a church or the director of a chamber or the property manager of an apartment complex. Some influencer that, if you're going to do it in person, can provide the physical space, but most importantly, the host provides the audience. They provide the audience because the pastor has the congregation, the chamber has the chamber members, and they can promote the workshop that you would teach and invite people, again, in person or online. We can compensate the host for doing that, so it's economically motivational to them. You can teach this. Now, let's say you don't feel comfortable teaching this. We canned a presentation of this yesterday that you could just play if you wanted. But the key is to educate them and then get them to your landing page to come in. We've seen some of you take iPads out, so you have a couple of assistants, so you're working the group. If any of you have ever done voluntary benefit enrollment, like AFLAC, like Legal Shield, and so forth, Colonial Life and such, any of you that have done voluntary benefits, you're familiar with it, right? You do a little presentation, a little product presentation usually, and then you do voluntary enrollment. So we should be able to enroll about 9 out of 10 people that you educate using this. So if you're short of leads and you feel comfortable, have a desire to educate people and build financial literacy, this is a good option. Now, if you don't want to do the education, that's fine. We've talked about Facebook marketing. We can set you up on a Facebook marketing campaign where it's pretty much hands off, and that's generating on average 5 to 6 qualified leads a day. So there's different ways to generate leads, lots and lots of different ways. Building financial literacy, teaching workshops in person or online is just one. All right, so any questions, comments, concerns that anyone has? Samuel says he doesn't have his landing page. So we cover that, Samuel, right? Just give us a call and we'll get you set up with your landing page. It's crucial that you have your landing page. Jerry's asking, can he have other people teach and then he enrolls? Sure. Yeah. So if you're not the comfortable one to get in front of people, literally or virtually, then sure, you could have someone else do the education and you could just do the enrollments. That's fine. Charlotte is our affiliate manager. She's going to have a new phone number effective today. There was some issue with her old number. I don't actually understand what it is, but she has a new company phone. I know that because we ordered it and paid for it. And so we'll release tomorrow her new phone number. So her email is the same. But those of you that are affiliates, you should know Charlotte. You should be working with Charlotte. She's here to assist you with whatever it is you need. All right. Well, with that, we'll let us dismiss. Enjoy your 4th of July. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Just reach out to us if there's anything that we can do for you. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye-bye.